Well, guess whose video isn't recording for the past 15 minutes? Anyways, I'm sorry. I cried 2 nights ago. Why? I didn't cry because I cried. I cried because I was going insane. And not sarcastically insane. Insane, where my heart was pounding. It was about to come out of my chest. My hands were shaking. Tears were just coming out of my eyes. And I was begging. I wasn't even praying. I was begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it stop because I was genuinely going insane. Fatma, what made you go so insane? Backstory, actually just like context of it was that I have this really bad habit of like before I go to bed, well, I'm in bed, but before I go to sleep, I will visit every single dimension in my brain before I go to bed. I don't know why. It's like the dimension of like outfits or making fake scenarios or visiting my future self in London. You know, every dimension in my brain, I'm just like, hey, what's up? And I just, catch up on life. One of my brain dimensions is the spiritual dimension. And my spiritual dimension has this tiny little door, this tiny rabbit door, that says do not touch. And my curious self, my idiotic self, goes and touches that door every 6 to 7 months. I'm sorry. Every 6, 7 months, I'm sorry. What's in that door that makes you go insane, Fatma? Eternity. The word eternity is not scary. I know. But the word, maybe it is to you. Personally to me, the word, the alphabetic word infinity is not scary. But the word and the repeating word forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and forever and it never stops, that is scary to me. And I don't want to go and open that door right now because I'm going to go insane on camera. But the moral is that we all do everything that we do for Jannah, right? I mean, Allah foremost. And I'm going to make a separate video about what we even do, what we do if Jannah and hell weren't even there. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. We do what we do for Jannah. We do what we do first and foremost for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, but at the end of the day, our end goal is always Jannatul Firdaus, right? Would it sound crazy? It will. But I am scared to live in Jannah for eternity. And I need to be very careful with my words, but I don't mean it in a sense that I don't want Jannah. I mean it in a sense that I can't even comprehend living in hell forever. Because I can't even comprehend living in Jannah forever. Going to Jannah is like my biggest dream, of course. But like living there for a gazillion years is pretty nice too. But living there for a gazillion repeating years. And it never stops. It never has a full stop. It's not like, there's like 2 gazillion pages, right? Without a full stop. No, it's like 1 gazillion years pass, another gazillion years, and then another gazillion. It never stops. We only know our lives to like 80 or 90 years. That's what we think. We can die in the next second, but you get what I'm saying. Like our lifespan, what we think of our lifespan is like 80 years or so. Can you comprehend a gazillion years? You can't. Or maybe you can. Maybe you think it's really nice to live in Jannah for a gazillion years, but it's not a gazillion years. It's forever. It's for eternity. Those gazillion years are absolutely nothing compared to eternity. And it scares me sometimes, and not in an ungrateful way, but just in a way that I don't have enough knowledge. Oh, okay, and so the story of, I forgot what his name was. I'm so sorry. I'm not good at remembering names, but he wasn't a prophet. He was this person that I forgot the name of. I'm sorry. But the person that met Hazrat Musa in the sea, you guys know that story, right? I'm sorry, I'm not good at remembering names. Where the fish left the basket, and that's where he had to meet, because Hazrat Musa thought that he was the most knowledgeable person in the world at his time, but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him that there is another person who is more knowledgeable than you. And then Hazrat Musa went out to meet this person. Who is this person? He went with his friend, sort of, and Allah ta'ala said, when you bring a fish with you in a basket, and where that fish leaves, will be exactly where you will meet him. And that fish left the basket, and Hazrat Musa met this person. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. They had a whole conversation, a whole journey, actually. But that specific conversation where there was this little bird drinking from the ocean, and it had like this little beak, and like a tiniest little one sip was going into its beak one at a time, like the tiniest beak and the tiniest sip. And there was a whole ocean that even our naked eye cannot like look at as a whole from one perspective. And he said to Hazrat Musa, do you see that little drop of water going into its beak? That is the amount of knowledge that Allah has granted you with. And this whole ocean is the knowledge of Allah that you do not know, that you cannot comprehend until He wants you to. And I knew this while I was going insane, and I was like, I need to stop going insane. Because if you told an ant that it was, I know this is a really weird example. Okay, let's take a mosquito. If you tell a mosquito whose lifespan is about till a week, and you tell a mosquito, hey, you're gonna turn into a human being and you're gonna live for 80 years. And that mosquito that has the tiniest brain, who only knows life till a week, what could not comprehend living for 80 years? Living for 80 years as a human being, with this body, with these fingers, with doing a job, with finding the love of his life, with having this whole life of a human, it can't comprehend it. It can't. It's gonna go insane. It might die of insanity. But then if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turns that mosquito into a human being, that mosquito would be totally fine. It'd be like, yeah, I understand everything. I'm a human being. Let's go on with life. I only have 80 years. Let's do this. It's gonna be fine. And so humans thinking living for eternity is the craziest thing ever. When we are in that state of our afterlives having been started, and us leaving these bodies and being just like souls in our eternity, in our life of like eternity, we will be fine. If we are in Jannah, of course, we'll be fine, I think. It's just like, I feel like, okay, Jannah is nice and everything, but like living forever, us humans who only know life till what we know, living for eternity, never having problems, never thinking of death or illness. I don't I don't have any knowledge, is why I think humans can't comprehend it right now, right? And I'm only saying that because I don't have enough knowledge. And so that specific door that I was talking about, you guys, this is gonna sound weird, but in visual representation, what I think about when I go in that door is, so there's a limit to our imagination, and I like to call that limit a bubble. And I live in this bubble, and I, 99% of the time, forget that I live in a bubble. But when I open that do not touch door, my head very slightly touches that bubble. I'm like floating in this bubble, and it touches that bubble. And when my head touches that bubble, I am reminded that I live in a bubble. A tiny bubble is my imagination. It's like when you are thinking of eternity and you're going to live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You, in that state, I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but in that state, you realize how little you are. You realize in that state that you can't possibly think about something that Allah has not given you knowledge over. Allah has not given us knowledge over eternity. Us having enough knowledge that we will live for eternity is all we get. We don't get knowledge of eternity. So when we think about eternity, we go crazy. Like me. Just like that, if a mosquito thinks about living for 80 years as a human being, it's gonna go crazy. What is the point of this video? I wanted to stop everything that I was doing to tell you to open that door. You're gonna go insane sometimes. If you're not going insane, you did not open that door, trust me. But when you do and you go insane and you're like, I'm gonna live forever and ever and ever, and it's not gonna end, and yeah, maybe I will be in Jannatul Firdaus, but it's not gonna end. I will have nothing to look forward to. It's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be everything but the nothing, because there will be no end to it. The sign of infinity, it just goes and goes and it never stops. It's gonna be like that. Your life is gonna be like that. And I think it's very important to open that door sometimes, not all the time, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you to not stress over something you don't have control over. But if opening that door makes you realize how small you are and how big and the oneness of Allah, why not? Open that door like at least once a year. Trust me. You're gonna be insane, but it's okay. I've been opening that door ever since I was like a little baby, ever since that door was formed into my spiritual dimension. I've been opening it at least 6 to 7 months. And it just like completely transforms you. It makes you think of this life as so crucial and important, but then useless at the same time. It's like everything I'm doing here is not going to matter. You know how you say your life is a phase? Like there's going to be like maybe something bad or whatever it is that is happening in your life. You tell yourself it's a phase. What if I tell you that this entire life of yours is just a phase? It's just a phase. This is just your humanly life. This human body is only a phase. Your soul gets, if I'm not wrong, I think 4 lives, one where we were before we were in this body, in this world, and then this life, and then the barzakh, and then eternity. Yeah. Humans, this life is so temporary. You could die in the next second, or maybe you could die 80 years from now. But you're gonna die. And you're not exactly gonna forget this life, like you have forgotten the dimension where you were before you came into this body. You're not gonna forget this life, but it's gonna be as though you have forgotten this life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not take the memories of this life out of your brain. No. But you, yourself, will never want to think of this life. Everything you have in this life, everything you need to be grateful for, a roof on your head, everything you have, a good face, ears to hear, eyes to see, nose to breathe in, a mouth to talk with, everything that you need to be grateful for in this life. And I assure you, there will be so many things when you start making a list of it. It's going to be trash compared to Jannah. Utter trash. And if Jannah is that good, hell is equally as bad. Me not even being able to comprehend living in this perfect Jannah for eternity, can't even comprehend or think to think living in hell forever and ever and ever. And I don't think Muslims will exactly live in hell forever and ever and ever after your sins are taken away from you. After you have been punished for your sins, you will go to Jannah. But don't take that lightly. Imagine someone going into hell for 1,000 years and then being promised Jannah and be like, oh, it's just 1,000 years and then I go to Jannah. 1,000 years of that life, like as in one day. I forgot the conversion, but like it's not like one day here is not the same one day there. Like it's gonna be so long, you're gonna start thinking that this is eternity. Leads me to think, is really everything that you're doing that worth it? Is it that important? Is it worth it? Every wrong thing that you're doing for the worldly pleasure, is it that worth it, dude? Come on, think of it, is it? Oh wait, those lusts maybe for wanting someone haram, or just like doing things that you are not supposed to do or that will not benefit you into going to Jannah. Is it that important? Is it that worth it? Because when you think of it, you can't comprehend living in Jannah forever. And that is the best case scenario. So you can't even think about living in hell forever. Even 1,000 years is too much. It's too much. That's all I wanted to say. Do you see my hands shaking? I need to eat. I'm really hungry. I need to eat. I need to work. But I just want you to know, take some time out of your day and open that door and go insane, because it's gonna put you in your rightful place. It will tell you how small you are and how all of this is important for you to do, but also so, like, it's necessary for you to do whatever you're doing in life, but it's also going to be very helpful to pull out every unnecessary thing you're doing in life. Trust me. Yeah. Have a good day.